Hello, my friend, I want you to take a deep breath and prepare yourself for what you're about to hear, because it will shake you all the way down to your soul. This isn't just another story. It's a truth, one powerful enough to change the way you see yourself and the world around you. When the light of destiny knocks at your door, you cannot turn away. You will notice everything you once thought was solid is now trembling beneath your feet. But within that trembling lies a mysterious call waiting for you. And from this very moment, we step together into the first layer of the journey, the call of the soul, the shock of awakening. Every heart carries a mysterious calling, a moment when it feels as if the whole world is slipping out of our hands. But in truth, the universe is only placing us exactly where the soul needs to go. Aries, as you hear these words, I want you to pause. Take a deep breath and feel it. There is a truth knocking at your door, a truth that may leave you shaken, yet it is also the very first seed of your rebirth. That truth does not come to shame you. It does not come to put out the fire in your chest. It comes like a bolt of lightning ripping open the sky, shaking loose the fixed beliefs you've been holding onto for too long. And when what you thought was solid begins to tremble, don't believe you've lost everything. In reality, the universe is clearing away the old foundations, so you can rise again stronger, clearer, more real than ever. I've witnessed it many times in life. People thrown off the familiar road, only to discover that the shaking was what opened the new path. Sometimes we need that shock to wake up the eyes, to see what the heart already knew but the mind refused to accept. And I believe, Aries, you are standing right at the threshold of such an awakening. Think back for a moment. There were nights you felt empty, wanting to cry for no clear reason. Days when you felt restless within yourself, as if the shell around you had grown too tight, unable to hold the soul that longed to break free. That feeling was not a sign of being lost. It was a sign of growth. Just as a seed must break its shell to stretch toward the light, you are breaking through an invisible limit, stepping into a new version of yourself. Yes, fear may rise. Everyone is afraid when the ground begins to shake. But listen closely. Breaking apart is not the enemy. It is fertile soil, a place for new seeds to be sown. Every crack in your life does not come to destroy you, but to let the light in. Allow yourself to tremble, because out of those tremors, a new order, a new design is already taking shape. Deep down, Aries, you were never born to live in the safety zone. You were born to step out, to challenge, to blaze. The shock you feel today is only fire refining gold, the invisible hand of the universe reminding you that there is more for you to become, more light waiting to be released. I remember someone once told me, in the moment they lost everything, they discovered they were still whole, because what could be lost was never the essence. What remained was the soul, the flame that never dies. And you, Aries, are the same. The shaking strips away the surface, but within you remains a proud fire, ready to light up your world again. So ask yourself, what in your life has reached its time to be released? What has become too small for your soul? Do not cling out of habit or fear. Do not let yourself be trapped inside walls you already know were never meant for you, because the universe never takes without giving something greater in return. Maybe right now you are listening with a heavy heart, but believe me, after the shock, after the confusion, you will find a new kind of strength. Not the strength of forcing a smile or pretending to be tough, but the strength that comes from accepting. You are no longer who you once were, and that, my friend, is a miracle. When you step out of this shaking, Aries, you will see the world through different eyes. You will realize that every door closing only clears the way for another to open. And sometimes that new door leads to a path you never dared to imagine. Give yourself permission to walk forward, even if you cannot yet see the destination, because your intuition, your soul, already knows the way. And then, somewhere along this journey of finding yourself again, you will face a truth that shakes your heart even more. A truth about someone you thought had left you behind, someone you thought had forgotten you, someone you believed was steady when you were falling. But the truth is, it was they who have fallen. One day, when you look back on your journey, you'll realize not every loss is truly a loss. Some people walk away. Some words shatter your heart. Some actions make you feel small, abandoned, left behind. And in that moment, you may have believed they were stronger than you, that they left because you weren't enough. But the truth, Aries, is very different. The one who once turned their back on you, the one who belittled your worth, is no longer as steady as they seemed. They may still wear a cold mask before the world, but inside a quiet collapse is taking place. At night, they dream of you. During the day, they think of you more than they dare admit. Sometimes, they even go back to the traces you left behind, not out of curiosity, but because their soul lost its anchor the moment you walked away. There's a strange law in life. When you give your heart with honesty and it's dismissed, the universe takes note. And when you finally leave, a reversal begins. The one who thought they didn't need you now feels the emptiness you left behind. It isn't revenge. It's justice working quietly, faithfully. While they are falling, you are rising. While they are losing you, you are finding yourself again. That is the real gift. You are rebuilding with a new kind of strength, no longer waiting for anyone's approval, no longer needing proof that you are worthy of love. You already know it within yourself, and that knowledge makes you unstoppable. Aries, picture yourself right now. A soul deeply wounded but not broken. A person who fell but rose again, with steadier steps and brighter eyes. Someone who once endured silence but has learned to turn silence into energy, into the ground of inner peace. That is what makes you different. The world often thinks justice is decided by force or by conflict. But those who have walked through suffering know the deeper truth. Justice doesn't require your hands. It arrives on its own, gentle, yet undeniable. The one who hurt you will face the emptiness they created. The one who lost you will live with the void they cannot fill. And while they stumble, you rise higher. This doesn't mean you delight in their pain. In fact, seeing the downfall of someone who once wounded you brings a deeper realization. Everyone longs to be loved, but not everyone knows how to hold love when it's given. And that realization plants the seed of compassion. Instead of clinging to resentment, you choose to keep the lesson. You choose forgiveness not for them, but for the peace of your own heart. I believe this world needs more hearts willing to forgive, like yours, Aries. Because only when we step out of the cycle of bitterness can we plant seeds of light for the generations to come. When you rise from pain with wisdom, you not only heal yourself, you inspire others walking behind you. They look at you and whisper to themselves, if she could, if he could, then so can I. Feel the relief of no longer having to fight to prove your worth. Because your worth is already undeniable. It lives in the light you radiate, in the strength you build each day, in the freedom that comes when you are no longer bound by anyone else's gaze. And somewhere along this journey, you will feel another shift inside you. As the grip of the past loosens, the fire in your heart begins to burn brighter. No one can put it out. No one can dim it. You begin to live as you were always meant to live, radiant, limitless, unapologetically yourself. Aries, pause for a moment now. Listen to the beat of your heart. Each rhythm reminds you you've made it through. You're still here. You found your way back to yourself. And when that inner flame starts to roar, it will guide you into the deeper layers of your journey, where rebirth is no longer just an idea, but a living reality, sacred and alive within you. Aries, there are moments in life when the darkness feels so heavy, you begin to believe the light may never return. Those days, your heart feels weighed down. Your eyes grow tired from too many times wanting to cry. You wonder if you have the strength to keep going, or if it's time to simply let go. And then something strange happens. Inside that silence of the dark, a small flame begins to flicker. It isn't the fire of this world, it is the flame that rises from your very soul. That flame is lit by the tears you've shed, by the times you stood back up after falling. It doesn't blaze all at once, but it is steady, warm, and slowly spreads its light. It is in the darkest days that you learn. Loving yourself is not just a phrase. Loving yourself means holding your own weakness with tenderness, comforting yourself on nights no one else understands, allowing yourself to be weary but never allowing yourself to lose hope. The universe, in its quiet wisdom, never leaves you alone. Even when it feels as though everything is falling apart, invisible threads are being woven behind the curtain. Threads that connect you to opportunities not yet arrived, to people you have not yet met, to turning points you cannot yet imagine. It is like the hand of God, patiently arranging a greater picture, where every piece of your life, joy and sorrow alike, finds its place and meaning. I believe true strength does not come from applause or from the approval of others. The greatest strength is born in the moment you look straight into the mirror, eyes still red from tears, and whisper to yourself, "No matter what, I am still here. I will not abandon myself." The moment you recognize your own worth without needing anyone's permission, That is the moment you are truly free. Life often tries to convince us that we must fight, prove, and please in order to deserve love. But the truth is, when you choose to lift yourself up, you are no longer bound by anyone's nod or disapproval. You walk on steady ground because you know there is a divine presence watching over you. You know God has placed within your heart a flame no one can extinguish. Aries, picture yourself as a candle in the night. At first the light seems small, but with patience, that light can fill the whole room. And when the winds come, instead of being blown out, your flame only grows stronger. That is who you are now learning to stand firm, to love deeply, to face uncertainty without fear. What I want you to carry in your heart today is this: you are not alone on this journey. You are held by the stars above, by the unseen hand of the Creator, and by the flame that never stops burning in your chest. Every time you fall, it is simply another chance to rise higher, stronger, truer. And when you begin to live in your own recognition, something miraculous unfolds. You feel lighter, more at peace. You no longer chase love because love is already inside you. You no longer worry about what others think because you have found the sacred voice that speaks from deep within. And that light, Aries, will draw to you everything that belongs to you: opportunities, love, abundance, all waiting for the right moment to arrive. Allow yourself to sit in this silence and feel the warmth spreading from the flame within you. Be grateful even for your wounds, for they make you more human, more compassionate, more connected to the hearts of others. Trust that the darkest nights are not the end, but only the night before the dawn. One day you will realize nothing can chain you to old patterns anymore. You don't need to shrink. You don't need to ask permission to shine. You are the light. And when that light radiates, it not only illuminates your own path, but offers hope to those still wandering in the dark. As I speak these words, I want you to remember rebirth is not a sudden explosion. It is a journey lived day by day, breath by breath. And on this journey, Aries, you are walking it with courage. And when that inner light is rekindled, your path will carry you to another threshold where choice itself becomes sacred, where you must decide whether to keep holding on to the old or to step forward bravely into a destiny that is entirely new. There are moments in life when you can no longer stand at the crossroads forever. We grow used to postponing, telling ourselves, maybe tomorrow, let fate decide. But one day, you realize postponing is also a choice to stay in the safe zone, a choice to silence the very call of your soul. And in that moment, you know you must decide. The threshold of destiny does not appear in ordinary hours. It arrives in the trembling ones. When your heart beats faster than usual, when your breath grows heavy, as if it carries a secret that is the signal. Many believe trembling is weakness, but the truth is, trembling is the vibration of life itself. It is the whisper of the soul as it stretches open to embrace the new. I want you to picture this. You are standing before an old door, paint peeling, hinges creaking. Inside is everything familiar, safe but stifling, repetitive, suffocating. Beyond it, another door stands slightly open. Light spills through, the shape unclear, yet something about it calls you, pulls you. And you know, once you choose, there is no turning back. This is the threshold of destiny. Life doesn't change through silent wishes. Life only changes when we dare to place our foot on the new path. Every soul who has lived with meaning shares this secret. They dared to choose. They trusted the inner call even when the world outside was filled with doubt. I remember a woman who once told me she had spent half her life in a job that was safe but empty. Each day she woke up feeling she was living someone else's life. Until one morning, looking in the mirror, she saw her own eyes hollow. And she knew, if she didn't choose in that moment, the rest of her years would be nothing but a gray repetition. She walked away from it all and pursued the dream she had buried. That single decision turned the last years of her life into the brightest she had ever known. This doesn't mean you must abandon everything in an instant. It means there are moments when choice can no longer be delayed. It could be a love you never expected, a job offer that shakes you, or an unseen hand reaching toward you. You will feel your heart tremble. You will ask yourself, am I ready? And the real answer is not in logic. It is in the quiet peace of your soul when you dare to admit, yes, this is my path. Remember, this safety does not always mean happiness. Sometimes safety is nothing more than a golden cage. And you, the one who carries fire in your chest, you were not born to be locked away. You were born to walk, to discover, to experience the deepest layers of love, of life, of light. Choice always walks hand in hand with fear, but it is within fear that courage is found. Courage does not mean the absence of fear. Courage is when you tremble and step forward anyway. And when you dare to step, the universe clears the path. God places in your hands what you need, and your soul gives thanks because you did not turn away from it. Believe this, your choice is not only for yourself, it is a gift to the world. Because when you live true to your soul, your light spreads, inspiring others to step out as well. And that is the deepest human value, that by changing our own lives, we shift the very current of humanity through our courage. Now, listen to your heartbeat once more. You'll hear a rhythm that feels unusual, like a quiet reminder the time has come. You don't need every answer right away. You only need honesty with the truth inside your heart. And when you do that, a new horizon opens. And sometimes that choice doesn't just lead you to a new door. It arrives as an unexpected gift. Something tender, like the first light of morning. A love unlike any other, reminding you that you were never truly alone on this journey. One day, when you sit in stillness, you'll realize that true love never comes to fill your emptiness. It doesn't arrive to replace what was lost or to patch up old wounds. It comes to walk beside you, to remind you that this journey was never meant to be walked alone. That person doesn't show up with arms full of distant promises. They arrive through presence, not through fancy words, but through eyes that meet yours so deeply you know at last someone truly sees you, not the version you've tried to perform, but you raw, honest, imperfect, and still shining with light. This love doesn't lock you inside narrow molds. It doesn't ask you to shrink just to fit someone else. Instead, it opens the sky so you can spread your wings and fly higher. And at the same time, it gives you roots to stand firm, to never lose yourself. That is a rare freedom, the freedom to love and the freedom to be yourself. I believe real love isn't measured by far-off visions or grand promises. It shows up here now, in the courage to sit with you in silence, in the patience to walk slower when you are weary, in the grace to see both your light and your shadow. True love isn't a promise of some faraway future. It is the steady hand you can hold today. Picture yourself walking through a dense forest, the path ahead covered in fog. Alone, you could keep going, but each step would be hesitant. And then suddenly, a hand appears. It doesn't pull you. It doesn't hold you back. It simply rests gently in yours. And from that moment, the darkness feels less frightening because you know you are no longer alone. That is the meaning of this love. They will look at you not as you were, but as you are. Let that truth carve itself into your heart, because for so long you've been misunderstood, forced into molds that never belonged to you. But when a soul-deep love appears, it doesn't try to fix you. It doesn't twist you into someone else's shape. It simply reflects you as you are. And from that reflection, you learn to love yourself again more deeply, more completely. Yes, you may feel uneasy at first. You've grown used to guarding yourself, used to fearing abandonment, but give yourself the chance to open, because this love doesn't come to leave. It comes to stand with you through the storm, to hold your hand as you step in a new light. And let me say this not only to you, but to everyone listening now. Our world needs more relationships like this. When two people truly show up for each other, they don't just heal themselves. They create a ripple of peace. Their children learn what real love looks like. Their friends are inspired. Their community grows stronger. Because love, in its truest form, always expands beyond two people. It becomes a light for the world. So let your heart believe love is not an illusion. It is not dependence. It is not an exchange. It is two free souls walking side by side, unafraid, unhidden. And when you experience it, you will see love doesn't drain you. It gives you strength. Strength to live real, to love real, to be fully present. And when that love touches you, when that light surrounds you, you will also begin to notice something else. Because the greater the light, the clearer the shadow. Challenges will arise. Not to destroy you, but to prove that your love and your light are strong enough to stand steady, even in the storm. In the flow of life, there are moments that stop you in your tracks, moments that leave you stunned by the transformation within yourself. When the light inside you rises, it doesn't just shine on your own path, it makes the whole world around you take notice. People will not be able to ignore that change. Some will smile and bless you, but there will also be other eyes, cold, doubtful, even jealous. That is the natural law of light. When it shines, the shadows are forced to reveal themselves. Picture yourself walking into a dark room. The moment a single candle is lit, every hidden corner becomes visible. The light does not ask whether the darkness wants to be exposed. It simply does its job to shine. And so do you. When your energy is real, when you live true to who you are, the false layers, the masks around you begin to fall away. What is real? Real people, real love, real connections, they remain. What no longer resonates quietly leaves. In this world, not everyone can celebrate your growth. Some will feel envy because your light makes them face what's missing inside themselves. Some will try to pull you back to where you once were, the place where they felt comfortable seeing you small. But remember this, you don't need to argue. You don't need to prove a thing. Your light is already the loudest answer. It is stronger than every defense, steadier than any accusation. I have seen many people, once they rediscovered their true selves, lose the urge to fight for recognition. They simply walked on in silence, letting the light of their life speak for them. And the world in time revealed the truth. Who was real, who was false, who would stay, who would leave. All of it came clear the moment the light shone. Aries, if you are hearing this now, I want you to believe your success, your peace, your glow, they are no accident. They are the natural result of the road you've walked, of every time you fell and stood again, of every tear you wiped away alone. Do not let any shadow make you doubt the value of that light. Yes, you may feel weary from the weight of jealous eyes, but instead of letting it slow you down, see it for what it is, proof that you are in the right place at the right time. No one envies those who stay stuck. Envy only comes when you rise, when you break beyond the limits. So take it as a sign you are moving in the right direction. This is also a lesson for us all. When we see someone else's light, instead of envy, we can choose to learn to be inspired, because light never takes anything away from us. It only shows us that we too can shine if we are willing to face our own shadows. Society grows better when each of us learns to turn jealousy into fuel for our own change. And you keep walking your path. Don't stop to explain. Don't bow your head to fit into narrow views. If you do, you betray the light within. Instead, be calm like the sun. Simply rise, simply shine, and everything else will fall into place. When you live true to yourself, you don't need to sort out what is real and what is false. The world will do that work for you. The true ones will be drawn to you. The false will fall away. All you need to do is keep shining. Take this pause now, close your eyes. Feel your heartbeat and recognize that light is flowing through your veins, through every breath. It is not only your light, it is a light to guide those still lost in the dark. Let that light become the legacy you give to the world. And after all the noise, the trials, the opposing eyes, you will finally understand a deeper truth. The most important thing was never them. It was always you. You have been reborn. You have returned to your truest self. And that is the greatest victory of all. You've come this far not as a survivor, but as a soul that has truly been reborn. No longer the old version of yourself. No longer the shadow that once searched for recognition in someone else's eyes. You have walked through the ruins, through the moments when it felt impossible to rise again. And now you stand in an open sky carrying freedom, strength, and an inner light that no one can take away. Rebirth is not a single event. It is a journey where you learn to let go of the masks, the roles society once forced on you, the illusions you once clung to just to feel enough. Now you know you don't need to prove anything to the world. You don't need to explain yourself, because your presence, the truth in your eyes, the way you live each day is already the loudest testimony. Aries, you don't need to prove. You only need to be present, and the world will fall silent to listen. When someone dares to live true to their soul, they don't just change their own life, they change the flow of the world. Think about it. One person choosing courage instead of fear, truth instead of falsehood, light instead of darkness, they become a torch lit in the night. And that torch, though small, is enough to inspire others to step out, to live true, to shine. By returning to your essence, you are helping to create a world more human, more just, more full of love. In this new freedom, you realize you don't need to hold on to the past. You don't need others to understand or accept you. You are already enough. And when you know you are enough, you can finally give love freely, without condition, without calculation. That is the purest love, the kind of love that heals not only your heart, but the hearts that are wandering around you. Take a moment now, close your eyes, listen to the sound of your heartbeat. Every beat is a reminder that you are still here, still alive, still carrying a purpose. And that purpose is not complicated. It is simply this: to live true, to live fully, and to let your inner light flow outward. So simple, yet so powerful. This journey does not end here. It only opens into a new beginning. A beginning of freedom, of trust, of light. A beginning of a life where you are no longer chained by judgment, no longer bound by the past, no longer weighed down by fear. You have chosen the path of returning to your soul, and that is the most courageous choice of all. Thank you for being present in this moment, for allowing your heart to listen and open. May your heart remain steady. May your steps be peaceful on this new road, and may the light you shine touch the souls that need it most, so that not only you but this entire world can heal and glow brighter.